Hi, everyone. Happy Friday. This is your Astro Energy Report for the weekend and beyond of June 21st, 2024. I'm Maria Luz of Maria Luz Online. And before I forget, I do have availability if you would like an astrology reading or a consultation about something specific or just want to pick up a gift certificate for someone. And you can just go to my website, marialuz.online, to check out my offerings. So, with that out of the way, there really is just one big event to talk about, which is happening today. And it also raises themes that we've been experiencing for some time and that we've talked about here. And in fact, as we just passed the solstice, that was the Cancer solstice, where it's the longest day of the year in the northern hemisphere and the shortest day of the year in the southern hemisphere. It's a good time to check in with yourself about, how you're doing now that we're, halfway through the year. And on to the full moon, which is today, the 21st of June. And we see this full moon in Capricorn. It's at about 1 degrees Capricorn. And remember, if it's a full moon, it means the sun is in the polar opposite location. So it's exactly, the same degree, but in Cancer. And of course, the sun just moved into Cancer with that Cancer solstice. And the other thing at play in this full moon, besides the signs of Cancer and Capricorn, and solstice energy, is that Neptune is at 29 degrees Pisces. So that's the very, very end of the zodiac, in addition to being at the end of Pisces. And Neptune has been there for a while. However, it's going to be in this rather challenging aspect, a square aspect to the full moon. And the other player here is Mercury, and Mercury is in Gemini and is in a square to the nodes of the moon, so otherwise known as, the south node and the north node. So it's a little bit more nuanced than just your basic B full moon. So, uh, as you know, I like the Sabian symbols. And those are those channeled messages for every single degree of the zodiac that were channeled in 1925 in Balboa Park in San Diego by the psychic Elsie Wheeler. And Mark Edmund Jones transcribed the images that she was getting, and he transcribed them into these little poetic snippets. So the Sabian symbol for the moon's position is three stained glass windows in a Gothic church, one damaged by war, underlying resistance to change and life foundations, faithfulness to self, testimony of beauty against force. And for Mercury's position, a large diamond in the first stages of the cutting process, spiritual fulfillment or the acme of civilized being, actualization of potentialities and outpressing of real selfhood. Okay, I know we don't really speak that way any longer, 100 years later. However, the way I break that down is, this continued theme of transformation and spiritual self-empowerment to create our reality. And these longer term themes are from Pluto in Aquarius and Sedna in Gemini, and they are making this trine aspect. So there's this conversation happening between those two. Um, and, the fact that as each planet enters a sign, they're going to come into an aspect of some sort with those two because they're sitting at the very start of those air signs, Aquarius and Gemini. And so there's always going to be this reminder, this theme until they move out of the way, and those two move very slowly, and Pluto keeps going back into retrograde. So I just think we're supposed to be paying attention to this theme. And the other thing is that on their way out of any sign, they make that aspect to Neptune sitting at the end of Pisces and the end of the zodiac. So yeah, it continues. The story continues. And these Sabian symbols hit at our concept of beauty and value. and that sometimes pieces are broken away in order to reveal a different type of beauty. And is the universe trying to initiate our becoming a diamond, but we interpret it as like having shots taken at part of us? With the sun and Venus close together in Cancer, maybe we can nurture ourselves and lean on those who love us to allow our true selves to be exposed in order to move forward. And as with any full moon, there will be something we can release, but only once it is exposed in its fullness. And one other related notable event is that Mercury will be making a square. So, quite busy with making those square aspects, first to the nodes of the moon and then with Saturn next Wednesday on June 26th. And that made me think, like, what the heck? Where did this month go? But anyway, perhaps something to consider around our self-nurturing thoughts. So Mercury in Cancer is, Mercury is perception, and Cancer is like the queen of self-nurturing. And maybe how they fit into the larger conditions, which is, Saturn, which is our structure of our life. And being in Pisces, maybe more of that spiritual component. And yeah, I don't know why that Death Cab for Cutie song, Soul Meets Body, just came into my head. So maybe we should go give that a listen and see. Anyway, back to my notes. Are we tearing ourselves down when we need to lift ourselves up? Or being too soft on ourselves when we need to push ourselves to think bigger. And there again, there's this spiritual theme because of Saturn in Pisces, and Neptune in Pisces. So this could be in all parts of our lives, but especially when it comes to home because of Cancer. And then, as I keep mentioning, those spiritual matters, or perhaps, where those things intersect. And that is it. If you enjoy these videos and you find them helpful, please share them. I'd love to get more people fluent about astrology, not putting us off on the fringes, because it is so valuable. And in addition to that, it's just a heck of fun. So that is it. And I wish you a glorious, glorious weekend. Bye bye.